Hey,
What's
hey,
up?
hey, Devin. Hey, or excuse me. Hey, Commanders fan. What's going on? Hey, how's life? How's life right now?
It's pretty sick.
It's pretty sick.
I'm scared, but it's
Okay,
sick.
okay,
I like it.
okay. You're gonna ask. You're gonna ask the ask. You're
Oh,
gonna ask.
how's life as a Denver Nuggets fan?
It's pretty sick. It's pretty sick.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pretty sick. It's
As a
pretty
Ravens
sick.
fan,
It's pretty sick.
is it cool?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of the NFL. I pretty much the roadblock of the NFL.
Yeah,
Uh, what did I say? What did I even? Did I say the official podcast? What did I say?
I don't know.
On it. We're on it. We're back. We're here. I don't know what I said, but
I don't think
you
it
know,
matters. Yeah.
like the roadblock of the NFL. Because right now it looks like the NFL is going through Maryland, but that's just
No,
that's
we're. I mean, we won't be in Maryland for very long.
y'all might now. Y'all might stay
Uh-uh.
around now.
Mm-mm.
Y'all
We
might stay
going
around now.
we're hitting Virginia pretty soon.
No, y'all aren't.
Ah,
Nah.
they're not building a new stadium in Landover. That's for sure.
Nah, they're just gonna touch it up a little bit.
There's no touch up you can do to that
Just
thing. That thing's
band-aids,
uglier than a
bro.
mother.
Band-aids, band-aids, band-aids. It's
But
easy.
yeah, no, it's y'all are definitely a place, a force.
Look,
We're out here getting lucky.
look. We got a lot to talk about. We got all of Week 4's games. We got the doubleheader for Monday Night Football. We got to predict Thursday Night Football. Talk some fantasy. Give our MVP votes. But I mean, the first thing I think we have to get into, which is something that I've been waiting about 24 hours to get off of my chest,
Mm.
and that's I guess our post game review slash reaction to this Baltimore Ravens um
Beat
beat
down,
down. Yeah,
jinx,
beat down on
smackdown, wipe down,
the Buffalo
mop them up,
Bills.
pick them
So
off the floor. I mean,
so
I honestly want to go back and like read all the good things that they said about the Bills and just
I already did. I let him
okay,
have it.
perfect,
I let him have it, Devin. I'm
good,
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I went back and gave everybody a personal L.
yeah.
I went back and gave everybody just a personal L because it's just I don't know. It's 2024. People, a lot of people run their mouth on the internet,
Well,
and then
everyone's
like
they've done that forever.
see, but
Everyone
it's
still
like we
does it.
show our face. We say things, and then people like behind like a username and like no profile picture run their mouths and make comments. So it's like
I mean,
you
they're
know
allowed to. They're just wrong.
no, they are, and I let it cook for a week or a couple weeks, and then boom, we got him, Devin.
Well, I
We
mean,
got him right where
it's
we
weird
wanted
to
him.
me, like if there were non-Bills fans being like, "Yo, the Bills are real good." It was just not all a bunch of
It was a
guys
bunch of
stuck in
Bills fans.
Buffalo, people hanging out
Uh,
over there. Um, yeah, scary sight for the Buffalo Bills, for Josh Allen, for a lot of that team. Uh,
So the Buffalo Bills finally face a real team, and they get absolutely steamrolled,
walloped.
walloped. I'm talking. Josh Allen was in my eyes front runner for MVP and threw for how many, Devin? 42 yards in the first half.
Mm-hmm,
42 yards in that first half,
mm-hmm.
and what? 50 of those yards in the second half was a. Someone's got to be down there.
Dude, that was I well, that
Uh,
was the
someone's there.
that's the highlight of their night was a
Yeah,
broken play where was that Shakir
maybe. I don't
where
know.
he just tiptoed quietly out of the play, um, and got open. But Khalil Shakir is a number one for the Bills. Nowhere else will he be a number one. Run
Yeah,
game
yeah, yeah.
sucks. Josh Allen was getting got to. None of it was good.
I mean, the pass protection looked awful. Josh
Bad.
Allen looked awful. The Ravens defense looked great, looked fantastic. Shit, they had Marlon Humphrey out there looking great.
Marlon looked like a
They
dog,
had
dude.
they had Marlon out there looking great, which I mean, you know what? Maybe it got to him. Maybe he was like, if I take all this effort I'm putting into my podcast and just put it into being a corner in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to do some
No,
things.
he was great.
And
He
then
looked
he like
great.
did some things.
Now,
Um,
I will say that like there was hope for the Bills. I mean, obviously defensively they were dog shit. Couldn't stop really any. Obviously, Derek busted one wide open.
Oh,
For
it's
what was
not
that?
Derek no more. It's
What
King
was it?
Henry.
It's King Henry.
It's King
What was
Henry.
that?
Because see, last week,
87 yards or some shit.
87-yard touchdown in the first play, the longest first play in Ravens history, like the
It was the
longest
first play of the
play,
game.
first play of all our first offensive drive, our first
Gotcha.
offensive drive.
Yeah.
Last week we got Derrick Henry. He
Yeah.
that's what we got
Past few weeks.
versus the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills got to meet King Henry,
King Henry,
which is something that
they've seen him before.
Baltimore, we've had to see him. Baltimore's had to see him before.
Mhm.
Baltimore's had to deal with him multiple times.
Mhm.
And it is amazing for it to be on this side.
You know,
It just feels great. But I mean, there's the takeaways besides just like shit talking Bills fans online. It's like, all right, the game was over by half. And
Yep.
the difference between this week and last week was it was still over by half. It was like
yes.
actually over
Yeah,
by
yeah,
half.
no.
It didn't turn into a 3-point game by the end of
Now,
it.
like the Bills kept shooting them. Like they weren't fully out of the game before half. Obviously, they go to kick a field goal and miss it right before the half. Would have tightened it up a little bit, and then that strip sack was basically the end of the game. That was beautiful. Kyle Van Noy coming out there and fucking everybody up on a. I don't even know what that play was. Was it that was a direct snap to somebody, right?
Yeah, so I guess they tried a direct snap and then
Josh was coming around on like a
maybe
reverse.
maybe trying a
It was
reverse.
like a
It didn't
reverse
get
flea
there.
flicker.
But it like wasn't even close to
Well, no, they were. I
formulated.
don't know who that was, but he was in the backfield immediately, and
Mm.
then Josh breaks out a little bit, and Van Noy's right there, and that was the game. Yeah, defense sucked.
I mean, it's just it's overwhelming because I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't expect it.
You did.
Did I
You
expect the
picked the
Ravens to
Bills.
win? Did I expect Devin? This is smoke and mirrors.
Is it?
I had to repeat what I did last week.
Did you?
This is all a game, Devin.
Yes.
I did what I did last week. I said, and what did I say to you? I said if I have to not believe in them
Sure.
for
For them
them
to
to
win.
win,
Well,
if
then
I have
stop
to
picking
point
them.
out,
Yeah,
if I have
don't
to
ever pick
point
them
out,
again.
if I have to point out every single one of their flaws going up against their opponent this
Yeah.
week, whatever week we're talking, and
Yeah.
for some reason God makes it happen the way it's supposed to happen for me as a Ravens fan, I'm gonna
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take the one wrong prediction out of the week. I'm
Agreed.
completely
Yeah.
okay with that. But I mean, it's just like I run a lot of the pod, and I had notifications blown up, and I learned real quick to just turn them off because, like, I mean, for weeks we had Bills fans just blowing up the timeline, just
Sure.
very angry at things we had to say about the Buffalo Bills. And to be completely honest with you, I don't think
No, I
anything
mean,
we
I
said.
said it last week. They barely beat the Cardinals week 1. Beat the Dolphins. A hurt Dolphins. Tua was out. Dolphins had nothing. And then they beat the Jags in a complete. And the Jags suck. The Jags are 0-4.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to know the combined record of the 3 teams they beat?
2 and something.
2-11.
Yeah.
2-11. The Bills have more wins than the combined 3 teams wins.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to put that in perspective.
I mean, the Dolphins weren't expected to be that bad. The Jags weren't expected to be this bad, but they are that bad. They do suck. This game to me isn't like the Ravens looked unstoppable or this. You guys played a great game, shut Josh down, ran the shit out of the ball. Obviously, there's still some issues certain places. The pass game for you guys, if the run does get stopped, needs to be a little bit better. Bateman needs to be better. But if you can run all over everybody like this, it's hard to beat.
So not to be like over exaggerated, like just excited Ravens fan, but I mean, what exactly was wrong with the passing game. I mean,
There's nothing wrong,
but
but it's
but I'm just saying to pick a game where Lamar threw 13 or threw 18 balls,
no. I'm not
13 of
picking
18.
out on them. Um,
It's like, I mean, for the 18 balls he threw,
they were all good.
they were worth it.
Most
And
of them were good. Yes.
13 for 18 should have been 14 for 18. Shout out to Mark for dropping his one target
I know.
wide open
Brutal.
across the middle.
But
Rose
to
was in
me,
his
right
spot.
now, this game or this showed that the Bills are bad. Not that the Ravens are like this fucking full-blown beast. I mean, because the Ravens' defenses
Oh,
looked.
you're hating crazy.
No, I'm not hating.
That's
I'm
crazy.
I'm just saying that the
I
Ravens'
mean, this is
defenses
how the
look.
Ravens were expected to look all offseason,
I
the way
know.
they were talked
No, I
about. This
understand,
is
but
exactly how they were supposed to look. Now, were the Bills supposed to look that bad?
no,
No.
but
But the Ravens were
they
supposed to
might be
look
that
this
bad.
good. The
But
Ravens were expected to look this good.
the first 3 games, your defense was shoddy. The secondary was shoddy. Obviously, Kyle Hamilton was doing his thing, but the Bills had nothing to expose any secondary issues that you guys had because they have Khalil Shakir as their number one.
But they got Josh Allen, Devin. We've been sitting here for 3 weeks saying Josh
I
Allen's got it.
wasn't.
I was.
I mean, yes,
So I'm
he's an
saying we look
impact,
at it
but
differently. To
when the
me, I
O
think
line
Josh
breaks down,
Allen.
when they have no run game and no one's fucking open, there's not much a
Yeah, I
quarterback can
mean,
do.
what does that sound like? That sounds like a defense that played very well. If you don't have a run game, nobody's protecting anybody, and nobody's open. You just
No,
described a
I'm saying
defense
that you
that
guys
played
played
great.
great, but I'm saying that the Bills. I'm not trying to subtract from you guys, but I'm saying that
No,
the
you are.
Bills.
You're taking away a couple
No, I'm
points. You're
not
taking a couple
taking away.
points.
I'm shitting on the Bills
I'm gonna
because the
wait for that.
Bills
I'm gonna
have
wait till we
nothing
get to.
to expose a defense. There's nothing that they
Okay.
have that can
Okay.
expose
I mean,
unless
I think Josh Allen alone is enough to expose a defense.
if they have something else going on that they
James,
don't have.
I thought
James
James
Cook,
Cook. I thought James Cook was enough. According to
but
people,
you guys
according
have
to
a
Bills
better
fans,
rush defense than you do a
of
pass
course,
defense.
which shouldn't be the case. But at the same time, I'm basing how we played off of our best game. You're basing our defense off of our first 3 games. Neither of us really have the best sample size to really tell how
No,
good this
agreed.
defense is. We also have a first year DC in Zach Orr. So
But the defense looked great for what it was, for how bad you guys have played. But
God damn, you can't end. What is up with you?
no,
You
no, no.
can't
I'm
just
just
end
saying.
with like,
I'm saying that you guys look way better now.
golly,
I'm saying you
shit.
guys look way better right now. I don't. I don't know. I don't think there's a magic button that Marlon can switch on where he's like, "Yo, I'm now a good corner." After we shit on him for the first 3 weeks, but he looked good, and I think it's because the Bills suck.
But I don't think the Bills suck. I don't think
I
they
think they
suck. They
played a
don't
horrible
suck.
game, and they looked like they
Yes,
sucked.
they played a horrible game. They sucked versus the Baltimore Ravens week
Yes,
4. But I don't think they're a bad football team.
sure.
You happen to think so?
No, I don't think they're
I think the
horrendous,
first.
but they played like a piss poor football team.
I think the first 3 weeks made them look a lot more scarier, or a
But
lot more
this is
scarier
what
than
I
what they are.
expected all season was, I mean, not James Cook not doing anything, but Josh struggling to find something with his 8 receiver or the 8 dudes he'll throw to who aren't open often. You got Mac Hollins out there who you're throwing the ball to a lot.
Oh, Mac Hollins sucks, bro.
He's
I'm
terrible.
so glad we made that video on
I
Mac Hollins,
I know.
but no. So,
Either way,
but okay,
you
but
guys look great.
like you're saying though, you're saying this was the first time this year where it looked like Josh Allen was struggling, which also happened to be the first game this year they played a really good
A real team.
defense. So I think Baltimore just helped expose Buffalo's offense just a little bit.
No, I think it exposed it a lot. I mean, that game against the Dolphins, James Cook went absurd. Obviously, Derek went nuts, but Lamar is still Lamar, and
Oh, Lamar's still Lamar. Well, Derrick Henry is still Derrick Henry too.
Derrick Henry is
Derrick Henry is
he hit
very,
what
very, very.
21.5 miles per hour on.
Oh,
I thought his big ass was getting run down.
and Justice Hill, man,
Dude, Juice looked great.
Ever since that contract extension, he was like, "Yeah, yeah, no,
Juice was cutting up. It was
I'm
nice.
gonna prove this con." It's like he's still trying to earn that money. He already signed for it. But
Hmm.
I
Well, he's
mean,
trying to earn that second spot. I mean, he's weird because he's not like when Keaton comes back, he's not really going to be fighting with Keaton. Keaton might not even get the ball that much. But as a receiving back, I mean, he's top
see, but I
right
think
now.
all three of them are going to be used
Yeah, no, exactly. So
differently.
I don't
You
think that
know.
they're like Juice isn't like trying to come out here and be running back one or two. He's playing his role where he's bouncing out to the flat and just being open. Um, I will say that your theory on the whole Derrick Henry being out there thing is just the truth. I mean, every time
It's
Derrick was out
ridiculous.
there, he got the ball. Like to expose what Derrick can do and then use that for the passing game, I would think that you would run play actions with Derrick out there.
Well, we did that a lot more versus Dallas, but we really just didn't have to versus Buffalo.
No, yeah, honestly, no.
But like no, there's been way too many times this year where it's like, okay, so Derek's lined up in the backfield, he's gonna get the ball. All right, they're subbing in Juice, so
It's
probably
like
gonna
it's like
throw it.
third and eight. It's third and eight. And they sub in Juice. It's like there's no
Well, okay,
possible.
see, but that like okay, obviously
That's
they're gonna throw it
sure.
on 3rd and 8, but it's still it's every
Yeah,
time he's subbed in, it's like
yeah,
all right, but now they called him a couple. They called I believe they caught Buffalo with a little draw with Justice Hill at one point.
yep.
Just I mean, and why would you expect him to get the ball?
Hmm.
Running
Yeah,
wise at least he's a receiving
right.
beautiful, but
Yeah,
if we're running that football, we got Derrick Henry on the roster.
yep.
Um, but yeah, so Bills Mafia can suck my fucking dick,
Hmm.
and my ass, and my toes.
I mean,
Everything.
yeah, I can't imagine how it felt to be a Bills fan and like to be 3-0 and to think that Josh is your saving grace because he was on a Madden cover and Khalil Shakir is good and all of this stuff and Daddy James Cook is going to come through and rush for 4 touchdowns again. Didn't
Yeah,
happen. They didn't look
didn't
good defensively.
didn't
Obviously, they looked terrible. Um, you know, no bueno.
wasn't
Taylor Rapp is
wasn't.
out now, so now they're really busting out those
Oh
shitty
no,
safeties, dog.
oh no.
You got Demar and fucking Lord knows who.
All right. Let's go down the rest of these week 4 games
Yeah.
then. Cincy versus Carolina.
Yeah. Andy Dalton's
Cincy
not bad.
since he gets no Andy Dalton's not bad at all.
Mm-mm.
Since he gets Carolina is since he gets
No,
their
Carolina's
first
better.
dub, a much needed dub.
Yeah.
It was close. The first half, I mean, it was a great game. First half, the
Yeah.
Bengals took it away. I mean, they
Yep.
opened up. They opened up the first half with a touchdown, and then after that, the game was just in their hands. And but I don't mean, I don't know. They were 0-3 and they beat Carolina.
Yeah.
So is
There's
it
not
just like
not much you can.
it's like okay? So they're better than Carolina,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not trying to hate on Cincinnati.
No.
Like, I'm really
But
honestly
we need
trying
to
to figure it out.
gauge. It's hard to gauge where the hell they're at because obviously we know the potential. They've got to,
Hmm.
and they've been in close games. They've got you guys next week. I think that's going to be a great gauge of what the fuck's going on. I think
We'll see.
we'll see what happens, but um, they beat Carolina. That's a huge. I mean, going on 4 would have sucked, and losing to Carolina. Yeah.
A game that really, really like okay. Had I lived in this area and where I was only able to watch this game, like let's say Red Zone or like Sunday Ticket wasn't a thing, and
Mm,
I could only watch this game, it would have put me to sleep. Maybe halfway through the first quarter, I might have made it through the first quarter.
maybe.
Um, Denver versus New York.
Yeah.
So I've been really, I don't want to say like trying to convince myself or like trying to like, well, no, convince myself is probably the right
Hmm.
word, but like, ever since the first game this season, it's like, all right, like Jets are going to heat up.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers
Yep.
is going to, like, I said before this game, before this matchup, like, time for an Aaron Rodgers classic,
Yes.
vintage A-Rod.
Yep.
Um, and we did not get that. now, and I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna solely put it on Aaron Rodgers, but just, I mean, okay, Jets versus Broncos. What do you expect?
Yep.
10-9?
No.
Absolutely not.
Hell no. I mean, 3 years ago, sure.
I
Um,
believe the Jets went. Okay, here it is. Jets went fumble, punt, 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 field goal, punt, punt, field goal, punt, field goal, punt, loss of downs, missed 50-yarder for the game. So
yeah. I
games
mean,
in their
even if
hands.
they hit the 50, like I'm less concerned about them winning. The fact that they had to be in a position where they had to kick a 50-yarder
Mm-hmm.
to win a fucking 19-point total game by 3,
It
by
was the
2.
least. It was the least amount of total combined yards by both teams in the first half since 1991.
Beautiful.
It
This
was
is
a
any
beautiful
game.
game. Now,
That's
now was it
awesome.
a little rainy? Sure.
They seem to
Like,
blame a lot of that on the rain, whatever.
but like
Aaron's played in the rain before. Aaron was in Green Bay for a while. He's played
Aaron
in the
played in
snow. He's
Green
played in
Bay.
everything.
Like he's
He
okay. He's
should be
fine.
okay playing in Denver.
But I'm trying to, and it's hard. And I felt myself still doing it after this loss, and I'm like still trying to convince myself that Aaron Rodgers can still like somehow go out like Brady.
I think he still can. Um, but he, again, like I said a while ago, I think he picked the wrong group of people to do it with.
See,
Um, I don't want to put all this on Aaron, and I don't think it's all on Aaron, but um, I think there was a reason Nathaniel Hackett got fired by the Broncos, and then they bring him in as an OC, which to me, I don't know. Like the only reason they brought him in was because Aaron said he liked him. The only reason they brought in Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb last year and all these guys is because Aaron likes them. Um,
yeah, I
Aaron
mean it
hasn't.
was the full Brady type of situation in Tampa. It's
Yeah,
just
but Brady brought in this
no,
year and
but
that there,
Brady
but
wanted Gronk. Brady wanted Antonio Brown.
and he
Brady,
wanted Edelman and all this stuff. But Brady seemed to pick the at least the right coaching staff. Bruce Arians is a great head coach. He seemed to I can't remember who their OC was, but um, I don't know. I don't want to shit on. I don't think the Jets are out of playoff contention or whatever, but this is a terrible look.
but at the end of the day, this whole Aaron Rodgers wanted this coach. Aaron Rodgers wanted that. It doesn't matter. It's still on like the head office to make the best decision.
Yeah.
So it like if
Well,
anything, it's on them to be dumb enough to just go, okay, Aaron Rodgers wants it. We'll make
yeah,
it happen.
yeah,
Like maybe we sit down and give him like options and be like, all right, like are you sure? Like you like
yeah.
let's like, really look at your
And they,
options.
I mean, I know they had Zach Wilson last year, but they gave Nathaniel Hackett a full year, and they still liked what they saw, even though their defense was the one winning the most of their games. And their defense did well this game to hold the Broncos to 10, and this Jets team should
But
have
like
won by fucking 35.
it's really disappointing, and I would just really hate to see Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I mean, because here's the thing: it's like, all right, well, if you can't win a Super Bowl, it's like, can you at least like still like go out there and look like MVP Rodgers? Can you still go out there and like
See,
just go nuts? Like
I don't think he needs
maybe.
to look like MVP Rodgers to make the playoffs. But with Aaron, like for him to, I don't know. Like obviously
You sure he might have to?
he might at this point, but honestly, like with Aaron, it's like his whole career has been making the playoffs, or most of his career has been making the playoffs and never winning the Super Bowl and this and that. I mean, I don't know how much. I don't think there's no way this team is going to win the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying, if this wasn't Aaron Rodgers,
Mhm.
and we looked at a quarterback who joins a team, tears his ACL or his
Achilles.
Achilles,
Yeah.
misses the whole season. He's 40 years old going into the second season,
Yeah.
and things are not looking too good.
Yeah. No.
Things aren't looking great. Things
Yeah.
aren't looking as good as we thought it was going to look.
Yeah. This would be like
This
if
was,
Joe Flacco got hurt right now
well, I mean,
and then came back and we expected the Colts to win a championship.
I mean, and I'm not saying he don't deserve it, but Kirk is getting a lot more, a lot more, I guess shit on his
Sure.
name.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly, it's all about like just to me. I think it's just where you are on the pedestal. Like if Aaron Rodgers didn't have the resume Aaron Rodgers
Hmm.
had, people would be shitting on Aaron Rodgers
Of
the last
course.
2 years a lot more, or be a lot more worried, or a lot more spectacle. And it seems like nobody's bringing it up yet, and it's and
I mean,
maybe this is an overreaction. Maybe it's just all
it
right, a bad
it
game, and
probably is, but I mean, after a game this bad, um, it's hard to see any hope in this team. Obviously, we know
yeah.
what the defense can do and what the offense is supposed to do. Um, yeah, we got to see more games out of this team, but I don't know. I mean, there was a lot more hope last year if Aaron hadn't been hurt. A lot more
Mhm.
hope before the season because it was Aaron's fresh. You had new young receivers coming in. You got all this happening. And we didn't really know the problems that the Jets had. We're going to start to see all of that this year unless they lock the fuck in.
Um, I mean, I wouldn't say Aaron Rodgers is screwed in this whole Jets era, Jets run, but I I was before last season started like Jets could be in the AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like Jets,
Jets need to make the playoffs.
like Jets, yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm worried.
I mean, they
Like
don't have the Dolphins to worry about this year. Obviously, they're not worrying about the Pats. Um,
I want to see Jets Bills. That's what I really want to see. Jets Bills that matchup. I mean, we'll get it
no, yeah,
twice. So I mean that those would be very telling games. I think for
yeah.
both of them. But Jacksonville versus Houston. Once again, I think Jacksonville they're just like really good at losing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, they
They
didn't
had a
like it was a good game. Like it was a back and forth game. CJ looked really, really good. He was
DJ look
he
great.
was
Yeah.
he was dancing around the pocket and I mean just I mean obviously coming back from that. Who they lose to last week? They had
The Vikings, they got slaughtered.
oh yeah, smoked by the Vikings last
CJ
week.
played
So
like
it's like
shit.
they it was a needed dub for Houston and it's just it's
Well,
I don't know.
the
I don't know what's
Jags,
in the water over there, bro. Jacksonville's just 0-4, but they
they had
don't
a
like
chance to win this game. I mean, they weren't fully out of it. Let the Texans come back. Uh, looks like
like
the AFC South isn't going to be as close as we thought it could have been.
no. But it's like how could I put it to you? Like Jacksonville is 0-4, but I don't know if they're worse than the 3-1 Seahawks. Like if you put them up against each other,
Yeah,
let's say 3 times,
yeah,
they might win 3 times. Like
maybe. I mean,
maybe
I
like
haven't seen anything good out of the Jags yet.
haven't seen anything good out of Seattle. All
I
right,
don't
whatever.
know,
I get. I'm not gonna get. I'm not gonna get that deep into Seattle yet.
but
But
Seattle. I mean, I still think it's like
Seattle was the worst 3-0 team in the league,
no, for sure, but
maybe ever.
maybe. Um, maybe the Panthers from a few years ago with Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
Um, can't remember what I was going to say, but the Jags stink.
Jags are
Jags are making the
season's over
playoffs.
for them.
They're
0
done.
4, but they're not awful. That's how
No,
I put it.
no, they're
I
not.
said they're 0 4, but they're not awful.
But what I was saying about, I think that any time the Seahawks win a game, I still think it. I mean, it's Geno Smith is their quarterback. It's a miracle that he's playing football,
We can't keep
and
saying
not
this
horrible.
though. We can't keep saying that though. If he's
I
gonna
mean, I
continue,
think we
like
can.
if Sam
Trevor Lawrence
Darnold,
makes $55 million a year. Geno Smith does not. The
okay,
Jags
now
are going to lose a lot of games.
we're just pocket watching.
I'm not pocket watching, but
But the Jags suck. I
yeah,
mean, the Jags. I mean, and it's just in terms of like just if you put the weapons Geno Smith had around
yeah, 1,000%.
Trevor Lawrence,
Trevor has none of
one,
that. It's not even close. Yeah, No, agree.
let's not even think of that scenario. Rams Bears catch a dub.
The Bears win.
And honestly, I'm not even gonna make any excuses. I'm not gonna. there's not much I can say. Like, I'm not going to pull the injury card because we didn't think it was going to be that much of an impact before. And this was Caleb Williams' best game so far.
Yeah.
This was the Bears' best game so far.
Yeah.
This was DeAndre Swift's best game as a Bear so far.
Mm-hmm.
This was just their best, performance so far. The Rams just did not play well.
They don't have that same threat from Kupp and Nakua, but the receivers are still not bad. And that's a big blow for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
But
sitting at 1-3.
Brother. But yeah, huge for the Bears. Bears are 2-2. Playoff hopes are alive.
Yeah,
Probably
they're
not
alive. Like on
No, yeah, they are alive.
They're on life.
Lord knows what the Packers are going to look like, which is what I said.
Oh, that's the next game if you want to talk about it. That's the next game if you want to talk about it. Because
keep Malik. Put Malik back in the game.
Look, okay, so I know like there's a lot of like memes going around like like Packers with Jordan Love 0-2, with Malik Willis 2-0. I'm just saying, sick. Like I'm just saying, and it's like, all right.
Three picks is pretty dog shit.
They went 2-0 against mediocre teams.
Yeah.
Also, Jordan Love was not healthy.
He was not. No.
Jordan Love was not healthy.
He was hobbling. He was bumbling.
I even said like, and I said to you, it's like if Jordan Love is healthy, and honestly, I should have realized like once it was like the earliest he could return, and it was going to be a game time decision, that it was obvious he like wasn't even going to be close to healthy.
The fact that I don't know, it was shocking that they would put him in after how decent Malik played, and then he was expected to come back 6 weeks. They bring him back after 3 or 2 or 3, and just not 100% at all.
At all. And they were zooming in on him just hobbling around after just just routine dropbacks, and he had one rush, and after it, winces in pain. It seems like he winces, and I'm being dramatic, but I don't know. He did not look healthy to me.
But it's not like this is week 17. He has to play to fucking get into the playoffs. This is week 4. Take a break. See how fucking Malik does or whatever. And, the Packers making this decision makes no sense to me. Almost came back.
Well,
it's close a little bit.
Let's be real. It was 7-28, and they scored
28. Yeah,
they scored 22 in the fourth quarter. That was like, to me, this was even like, okay, like the Cowboys were more on the Ravens' ass last week than the Vikings, than the Packers were the Vikings. But the Vikings are 4-0.
Sam Darnold is 4-0.
We continue to do this, and I think you said, like, I don't know, you made a comment maybe like predicting this game where you were like, you picked Minnesota, but you were like, I don't know how long I can keep like going with this Minnesota hype train, and it's like now they're 4-0.
Well, none of us know how long this will last. It kind of feels like what happened in Seattle, where it was like Geno's got a fucking 77% fucking completion percentage, and it's like it just continues to happen. So maybe Sam locks the fuck in for a while, and this just continues to happen. He has the weapons. Jordan Addison played great. Obviously, Justin Jefferson's Justin Jefferson.
Well, they've beaten the Niners, Houston, and Green Bay. They're not. It's not like they're playing slouches. And they got the Jets, and then the bye week, and then the Lions. We're really gonna see.
Aaron Jones doesn't look as old as he used to.
It's just crazy what not having a lingering hamstring injury will do to a player.
Yeah,
it'll like make them look good again. It's
real
crazy.
Good.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Which I can't blame Minnesota for being, or I can't blame the Packers for going like, oh, we can get Josh Jacobs. That's sick. Like we can do that. So it's like,
that's a huge move for them, but
it panned out great for everybody in that in the whole Aaron Jones situation. But I mean, I pretty much at this point, I mean, the Vikings are 4-0. This ain't no Panthers situation or Geno Smith situation. This is, and I said this to you last episode, or maybe not, maybe after the Vikings beat Houston. I think we just may be seeing a scenario where, and this is kind of what I meant by like, we got to stop talking about Geno Smith like he's some just backup
Yeah,
bum that's coming in. It's
yeah.
like, no, like if Sam Darnold continues to play this way, and it just turns out that he went through years of progression as a backup quarterback and then finally got his opportunity with a good team that we didn't expect to be good, but they're a good fucking team. And because I mean it is a former first round pick. So we're not acting,
Agreed.
this isn't some slouch. This isn't some random person. This was someone who was labeled as a bust, sat and developed for years, finally got his opportunity again. And I mean, I don't know.
Well,
It's just
the
you.
sitting and developing thing is tough for me because this is rare.
How is it? But I
Like
is
this
it
is Sam
though?
Darnold doing that. Like
If
we're
we
not looking
start,
at fucking Josh Rosen coming out and playing good. We're not looking at Carson Wentz coming out and playing
so is
well.
Baker Mayfield not a prime example of this?
No, Baker's also an example,
Okay,
but
so Baker Mayfield's
Baker
a prime
also
example
showed
of
way
this.
more promise early in his career than Sam Darnold did, and was
But it's
just put
still
in weird
a
situations. But it's been 4 weeks. I don't want to call Sam a fucking god and some dude
right,
who's
bro. You don't
now
gotta
sat
call him a
behind
god.
someone and he's been a beast. But no, it looks great right now. Again, I still don't know how long this will last.
You don't have to call him a god, but I'm just saying it's it's starting to seem like we can't every week just go like, all right, well they're 5, it's only week 5, it's only week 8. It's like at some point we're gonna have to accept that maybe, and okay, maybe
We
his
will,
situation is a lot different than Baker's in terms of what we saw early in their career, but it's still the same situation where they bounced around and had no expectations by the point
sure,
they got to their final teams they're at now.
agreed. I mean,
Um,
Baker was almost out of the league.
I mean,
Um,
Sam Darnold wasn't supposed to start the season,
no, they were supposed to hand the
so
keys straight to JJ.
I mean, they are. Um, Vikings. They're cool. I'm happy for
No,
them.
it's cool.
They're cool. Saints Falcons.
Mm,
Now this is another quarterback problem that I think
mm,
we might have to address, and
mm,
I might have to give it to you because I think you've been right about this all along.
mm,
Because I mean, what have you been saying about Kirk?
mm.
What
The
have you
same
been?
things I've said for a long time.
I mean, go ahead and repeat it.
I mean, nothing has changed in Kirk Cousins' career. He's a dude who will show up some weeks, play good, they'll win, whatever. And then other weeks, he looks like fresh off the boat, fucking never played a snap. Again, he's not the worst, but when you go out and you go acquire some guy and you give him $40 million and you expect him to be better than he has in his career, like the Falcons are talking about deep playoff hopes.
Mm.
Kirk has never been deep in any playoff. Like
No.
they like going out and getting Aaron and giving him whatever and doing that. Aaron's been in situations before, winning football. Kirk is used to okay football. So you're gonna get okay football out of this team.
Hmm.
They barely sneak out a win. I mean, the Saints aren't fucking good either, but
Dude, they scored 26 points, right?
yeah,
And not a single offensive touchdown.
nope.
They had what was how did it go? They scored 26 points. Oh, so they had a
Fumble
muffed
return,
a muffed punt. They
muff
had a
punt,
pick six, beautiful pick six. 4 field goals.
4 field goals. Yep.
Just an absolute shit show.
The buffoon win.
And this might be an entire Atlanta Falcons problem.
I mean, nothing. I mean, I'm not shitting on the pieces that they have, but Kyle Pitts' entire career, they're waiting on him to get a good quarterback. They're waiting on this. They're waiting on that. I mean, Drake London is not bad, but there's a lot wrong with this entire team.
But
And
like,
this is weird that they won a game and we're talking shit about
but
it.
like, yeah, because I mean, even after what we said about Kirk, I think he is good enough to where it was like when we say like wait till Kyle Pitts gets a quarterback,
Yeah,
like Kirk was good enough. Like that's the at least the threshold of talent we mean when we say wait till he gets a
sure.
quarterback. Um, and
But
I feel like it's
honestly,
still not.
if we look at like what a good receiver can do to a bad quarterback or an okay quarterback,
Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors, Justin Jefferson, like they're like what happens when Josh Allen
I mean,
doesn't
Terry
have a
McLaurin had a
star
name
receiver?
before this season.
Huh?
I said Terry McLaurin had a name before this season.
Terry McLaurin.
You know,
Like, I don't know. Like, Pitts obviously showed a little bit of hope in his first season, whatever, but
even
Kirk
on the
isn't the option. Kirk isn't that dude who's going to make everyone else look like they're on top of everything.
but I mean, even on the defensive side of the ball for Atlanta, I had a lot of hopes for them. I had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of hopes for them. The moves they made. I mean, if you look at that depth, you just look at that defense. They should be a top 10, possibly top 5. Like they should be doing what we've seen Houston or Minnesota doing.
Yeah.
Like that's what we should be seeing right now. And it's I'll give it to them. I can't even really give them to him on the pass D, but the rush defense the rush defense is horrible.
Well, yeah, you
Um,
remember, I mean, Shane was telling me for a while, he was like, bro, Matt Judon. It's like, yeah, that's a
oh,
fucking name. Oh, Chase.
I mean
Not Chase Young. Chase Young's a Saint.
I thought Judon was a great pickup, and he played his part well yesterday, especially with and being involved in
Sure,
that
but
pick six. But
a lot of that team, I don't know. Maybe their defense will come around and look better because, again, like you said, they have the names up there. And
they have
I
an
mean, a lot
absolute
of my
squad.
hate, huh?
So they have an absolute squad out there
Yeah,
on defense. But a
a
lot of
lot of
your
my
hate.
hate for the Falcons just is mainly Kirk based, and then a little bit of Shane just talking up his fucking okay franchise. But a lot of it's Kirk based. I think.
I wish we could call in Shane because he said they're not going to get smoked by Tampa on Thursday, which we will discuss
Oh, that's
later.
crazy.
We will discuss that later. But
Is Shane still
um
predicting or no?
no,
Okay,
no, we don't got his
he can
number.
predict. Well, he's predicting Falcon games.
Yeah,
So.
he's definitely predicting his Falcons games. But yeah, no, Kirk, Atlanta, I would definitely start to hit that panic button. I mean, and I know it's crazy to say, but sitting at 2-2, but it's an ugly 2-2.
Uh huh.
It's an ugly 2-2.
Now, I mean, they didn't look bad against the Chiefs. Could have won that football game.
Which is
Everyone looks
crazy
bad
though. It
against the Chiefs.
doesn't make sense how you
Well,
can.
I told you that Kirk Cousins does not make sense. He will go out and play great, and then he will look like Jameis Winston on a bad week. It's bad fucking like he's not a consistent option for a Super Bowl contending team, which is what they call this team.
Yeah.
Like you can't act like someone who's better than you if you've never been there or you've never been better than that. Kirk he's been okay for a lot of his career.
Tampa versus Philly.
There we go.
So I'm excited about Tampa versus Philly
Of
because
course you are.
I got to watch my guy Baker Mayfield open the game 21 straight points.
What ass.
21 straight points. The Bucks going absolutely crazy.
Big
And
can of
while
whoop
I
ass.
am a fan of Philly, I did have a lot of belief in them going into this season. We
24
did
nothing.
we did have the conversation last episode of, is Jalen Hurts overrated? And I'm starting to get a little worried that he might be
Shit,
going down.
seemingly everyone's been talking about that. Everyone's been right up Jalen Hurts' booty
Yeah,
cheeks.
yeah, they kind of been on his ass.
Big time.
And yeah, they open up 21-0. And their
24
defense,
nothing.
what we talk about, Tampa's defense had 2 total sacks all season. They got 6 versus Philly. They got 6 sacks, getting
That's
to Jalen Hurts,
Mr. Heavy Feet.
getting
He's
to
got the
Mr.
bricks for feet.
getting to Mr. Heavy Feet. Saquon Barkley, he turned up in the second half. But let's be real. Okay, you're down that much. your running back starts to turn up. It's like that's cool, but you're still down. You're still down. 2 miles. You're still down.
Yes.
You're still 2 miles behind, which means the game is going to be in the quarterback's hands.
Yes.
And the game was slipping away from
The game,
Jalen Hurts' hands.
and it kept slipping, and it never got better.
But I mean, look, I'm not even going to sit here and waste too much time talking about Philly because at the end of the day, they might be playing. They might have just played against one of the top teams in the league.
In the NFC.
I don't in the league.
In the NFC.
In the league.
The NFC is
in the
donkey
league.
dick depleted right
now. Name the top 5 AFC. Name top 5 teams in the AFC. Do it. Top 5 teams in the
Chiefs,
AFC.
the Chiefs, the Ravens.
Okay, no. Top.
Yes.
One of the top teams in the league.
Sure.
In the league. You want to go NFC?
Do you know what?
Whatever.
Tom said, because I heard everyone was pissed off.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Okay, because I didn't
wait to talk about
see
that.
what Tom said.
That might be a whole other clip. That might be a whole other clip, Devin, because I'm so upset with, which is not that big of a deal, but we will talk about that. But I honestly think that after last year, even after last year, there was still some doubt about Tampa and Baker and what they could do.
I mean, it wasn't like it was doubt. It was more so like, how much better can this team get? They didn't add anything. They bring back Mike Evans, still Baker. Defense is basically the same. Didn't they lose Devin White? Or I don't know when they lost him or whatever.
It should be 4-0.
Who'd they lose to?
Denver.
Oh, yeah. They beat us. So that means that they're the best. If they beat us, they're the best team in the league.
They played a shit game versus Denver, but the Bucs looked fantastic. I'm very, very, very excited to see what are the Bucs schedule looking like. What do the Bucs got coming up? Here, I got it right here. They got
Falcons, obviously.
Falcons on Thursday, and then they got Saints, and then they got Baltimore, and then they got Atlanta again. Ooh, and then they got a Kansas City, San Fran.
Kansas City, San Fran, back to back.
Kansas City, San Fran. All right, so Bucs have an interesting sketch.
Still the NFC South. You can win it with fucking 8-9 games.
But they're gonna win it with 11.
11's a lot. Their schedule's not that crazy. Their schedule is actually very easy after that Chiefs, Niners. It's Giants, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers.
All right, but you've seen 4 games of the Bucs. You've seen 4 games of the Chiefs. You tell me the Bucs can't beat the Chiefs?
No, the Bucs look better than the Chiefs. But again, there is it's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to pull out a win regardless.
Oh, absolutely. But
and we're all supposed to sit here in awe, like like it's some fucking beautiful thing how well the Chiefs are playing.
So the only thing with the Tom Brady and Baker Mayfield thing was Baker Mayfield. He was questioned about coming in, after filling in for the role of Tom Brady. Tom Brady leaves, Baker comes in, and Baker just commented on like the vibe switch up and how it was a lot more stressful under Tom Brady and how it was very like it's Tom Brady. You gotta live. You gotta play.
Well, I mean that team was any team Tom's on, they're supposed to win
you gotta play up to it. You got a certain expectation,
and you're playing up to what the team was 2 years before.
And Tom Brady, in his sassy way,
a little sass monster.
Ways, he was I think not winning Super Bowls is stressful. I thought that not being
Tom's gonna tarnish his entire legacy.
Which
because he is not. I'm not gonna say what I was. Whatever.
I don't know what you were going to say.
I can't stand hearing him speak.
The ring talk. From it's like all
right, yeah, so shut the fuck up.
It's like Tom. You can admit that a quarterback coming in on a 1-year prove-it deal, it was probably a lot less stressful in the locker room than when you were expecting to win a Super Bowl every time you played.
And you won 8 games.
You played? Yeah, oh, yeah. Let's not forget about that.
And Baker had a better season the year after.
I forgot about that. I
forgot they measled their way into the playoffs.
I forgot about that.
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, Tom played for 23 years and has all the records and everything, but
He did his thing.
to diminish, I mean, one team wins the Super Bowl. There's not a lot of guys, there's not a lot of quarterbacks with Super Bowl wins. To
Yeah.
diminish what Baker Mayfield is doing and saying, oh, not winning Super Bowls is more stressful. Um,
It's like he just answered the question. Obviously, you're like they brought you up, Tom, because you're Tom Brady. It's like what was
yeah,
Baker supposed to say? Well, I'm not going to answer that question because relates to Tom.
yeah, exactly.
So, like, what are we talking about? You know, it's
I don't know.
it's
Tom
a little weird, but
pisses me off. I'd rather see
they were chopping it up
Greg
before the
Olson in there.
game. They were chopping because
I bet they will.
Tom commentated that game. So I mean,
You
it
know,
was.
yeah.
It's not like some beef or big deal, but it's just like Tom, like
It's stupid.
Tom
And Tom's
Tom
gonna still
flexing
walk
on.
around and talk about how he's probably gonna say that Baker's offense is completely different than the offense that he played in fucking 3 years
Mhm.
ago. And
Which
how
is
it's dumbed down for Baker Mayfield, and that's why they won more games last year. Get
and
the fuck out of here, Tommy.
Tom just flexing on Baker Mayfield just seems weird.
Well, he has the ability to flex on him, but this is Baker Mayfield, a guy who was supposed to be out of the league 3 years ago. I mean, he went to the Rams and had one good game, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? How'd you get here?" Um, and then yeah, just doing what he's doing now. I don't know. Tom always he lives his life off fucking his rings, which is cool. He's got 7 of them.
Colts Steelers. He had 8. Colts Steelers.
He had 8. That thing is
Oh,
drop
good.
something.
Awesome.
That
Colts
thing's gone.
Colts versus the Steelers.
His wife still
So
paddles boards around his house, which is funny, like with her boyfriend.
so I'm not going to continue to talk about Tom Brady's ex-wife. So what was interesting about the Colts and the Steelers game was so you know how you were like you asked me about that feeling like we had in our stomachs like as soon as we saw Tua take off to
Mm-hmm.
run.
Yeah,
I, as you know, a Gator fan, I've
yeah,
had that feeling for years. Every time I
yeah,
see Anthony Richardson take off, and it's like,
yeah.
obviously, you don't like want anybody to get injured, but it's like,
No,
it's just you. God, Anthony Richardson cannot stay healthy.
now
Like,
was there a flag on that hit?
no, I don't believe so. I could be wrong, but
I mean, he did give himself up,
yeah,
but he did it in like a squatting position
yeah. But he's
and
also like
just got
6'5", so him
headbanged.
squatting is like
Sure.
he's still on damn near face level with
Yeah.
the corner. But
Sure.
so he gets hurt initially. He gets a hip injury and then gets pulled out.
Yeah.
So Flacco comes in, everything's cool. And then he comes back in, and
Mhm.
then you mentioned the slide, takes the slide and goes back out again. Now it was reported that it was his hip, which is why he wasn't going to come back in the game. Now I thought when he got
His hip.
well, because it was hip.
That was the first injury.
But I assumed he probably at least went into some type of concussion protocol, considering his history.
No, he's concussed.
I'm saying when the initial reports
Yeah.
were hip, it was just
Yeah.
it was ruled out hip.
They're still calling it a hip injury.
Yeah, and
Which he probably has a hip injury as well.
he may have,
Which
but
why
see,
why put him back in the game?
we'll see. But on that slide though, the reason you said, well, he looked kind of a squat. It's like, well, maybe because his fucking hip hurt. And
Sure.
that's what it was. Because I mean, at the end of the day, he would have to have the softest skull because it wasn't like some crazy impact. Because the same way he gave himself up, the DB kind of gave up the tackle and just
Yeah,
kind of
fair.
wrapped him up. So could it not have been a concussion? I think so, but I think he at least was in a concussion protocol. I
Sure.
think
Was this not the same injuries that he was dealing with last year?
I know that he was dealing with concussions, but I believe he was dealing with a shoulder injury as well.
I thought he caught a hip one at some point, but yeah, no, concussions and then the shoulder. And I mean, I think we feared this all preseason. It's like he's a big, strong ass dude, but very injury prone. And then for Joe, it's like we wanted him to be a starter last year or this year, and we said that this was Joe's best opportunity to have a chance to start games because of how prone AR is. But I don't know.
Yeah.
For the Colts' sake, I think I would keep Joe out here. But at some
For
point, we need to
now.
figure out, huh?
I mean, for now to let him
For sure,
let him get healthy.
of course. But at some point, we need to figure out how good really is Anthony Richardson. And if this injury thing persists, like how long is he gonna be a Colt?
I mean, this is just a weird situation where it's like you'd like to see how good Anthony Richardson really is, but you can't keep him out there long enough to see it.
No, no.
Which
I
because
mean, he hasn't made it past week 4 yet.
which it's I hate to call this type of shot now, but it's like I feel bad just because in my gut it just seems like some type of like RG3 situation where it's like for
But
his
RG,
for the safety of his like just body, it might just
sure.
be better he's a backup quarterback.
But RG3 showed a good bit of promise real
I
early on
know.
and won football games and all that
I
shit. And
know.
this is I don't know, it's bordering on just
But once RG3 got hit with that knee problem,
over.
it was over.
Well, once he got hit with a knee problem and then decided to come back or they told him to come back or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
happened with that debacle, none of that was good.
But Joe Flacco coming, and it's just crazy. Like Joe Flacco, I saw something which not to like call anybody, not to expose anybody's age, but Joe Flacco is the same age as Anthony Richardson's mom.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that is insane. Like
Well,
that
Joe's 40 now.
30,
39.
38, 36,
I
38,
thought he was
38,
38 last year.
38. I want to say he's 38, maybe 38 turning 39. But I mean,
39.
it's just look, I don't know. As a Ravens fan, it is just fantastic to see. I hate how he got his opportunity, but the fact that he is
Of
out
course.
there and he's slinging 2 touchdowns in a game, getting to beat the Steelers maybe one more time. To see, all last year it was, oh, Joe got to beat this team one more time. You got to do this one more time. It's like,
Well, they were giving Joe
yeah, it's like
his
no,
walk off.
nah, Joe just showed up and beat Pittsburgh again.
I mean, last year Joe looked good enough to start on a piss poor team. Um, I
Fuck,
mean, he brought a team to the playoffs.
he
Again,
did.
I think we said it in the offseason that, yeah, I
I
mean, if
mean,
Joe's going to be a backup anywhere, Indy's not terrible. He's going to
Joe's
play.
Joe's career didn't end. He just got hurt. Lamar Jackson was our
Showed the
backup
fuck up.
quarterback,
Yeah.
and
And
Joe
then he was on the Jets
he
fighting
really
for a job
yeah
with Mike White on a fucking terrible team.
yeah. So I mean, like, has Joe really haven't had the best opportunity to be a starting quarterback since leaving Baltimore? No.
And I don't know if Joe ever thought he would really leave Baltimore in that way. I mean, you guys had a shot. I mean, you guys made the playoffs that year after Lamar took over. You had a shot at making the playoffs. Joe could have gone on a run. If Lamar wasn't there, maybe played 2, 3 more years with the Ravens and then walk off.
Yeah,
Um,
but drafting Lamar in the first round, there were probably
that was
some
the beginning of
whispers. It was like,
sure.
yeah, Joe, start packing up. Start
Pack it up, Joseph.
start getting into real estate a little bit, Joe.
But he doesn't need to. He keep being a quarterback.
Keep being a quarterback.
Good for Joe.
New England versus San Fran. I mean,
Yeah.
this was just finally a game with like a normal outcome,
Yeah.
or like a normal expected
It
outcome.
was expected.
So
Obviously,
yeah,
the Niners are still depleted, but Jordan Mason looked good out there.
they did their thing. Fred Warner, best linebacker in the fucking league.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
This might be time to start
old
waking up
Drakey,
old Drake May over there.
old
I
Drake
mean,
May.
I want them to do it at some point this season. I don't know why they went into this season expecting to win a lot of games and just throwing Jacoby out there. Like, let Drake May develop a little bit on the field, see what he's got.
Let's talk about your team. Let's talk about your quarterback that's developing on the field.
He's fucking. I mean,
Washington versus Arizona.
Not only does he, like, when they were talking about the record with the completion percentage, I thought it was rookies through 4 games. This is all of the NFL ever through 4 games. The guy doesn't make that many mistakes. He had a bad pick. That was a mistake. Outside of that, 4 incompletions.
Before and after that interception was
Perfect. I mean, it was just a
fine.
dog shit dookie throw. Terry's
B-Rob.
that dude. Zacchaeus.
You get 100 yards out of Brian Robinson. I mean,
B-Rob running it. Fucking, I don't even know who Jeremy Nichols was before this game. McNichols.
Now, before the Ravens game, I was ready to give y'all. I was going to give you the keys and say, there you go, best team in Maryland, Devin. There you go,
Nope.
You got it. Now, not
well.
No,
we did play the Cardinals again. Jonathan Gannon is, for lack of a better word, fully autistic. Should not be the coach of this NFL team. There's real problems with this whole organization.
Oh man. But
yeah, I mean, they just had nothing going. Like, they could have stayed in this game, but they had nothing.
But Devin, you're 3-1. You're a Commanders fan. Y'all are 3-1. I mean, I know it sounds.
I don't know what to do with this.
I was about to say, like, I know it sounds corny, but like,
I mean, the only thing that I get from this is, like, I wanted to draft Jaden Daniels over Drake May. Now, I did say that I would like Caleb over Jaden, but that was until all the shit.
Sure.
But yeah, this just confirms that Jaden will be a dude for a while. I really don't give a damn about how well we play this year. I don't expect us to go out and make the playoffs or do anything in the playoffs if we do make them.
You gotta stop doing this, bro. We're a quarter through the season. If y'all continue to play this well for the next quarter of the season, you need to expect a playoff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't want to see us in the. I do. Again, I still don't think that we're there, but we look really, really good. Jaden just looks so comfortable. Jaden looks like a grizzled vet. He looks so comfortable out there.
Looks like he's been in the league for a minute.
This is what happens when you fucking get a quarterback who went to a school that wasn't in the ACC. I do shit on Joe Burrow, though, which doesn't make any sense. But if I'm going to go with the whole LSU thing. But either way.
He had the best wide receiver duo maybe ever.
That is very true. Jaden had Malik.
Joe Burrow had
Jamar
Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Come on.
Either way, Jaden looks great, super comfortable. He looks good running the ball. He doesn't have to a lot, but he looks good in the pocket. He looks good moving away from the pocket. Not making stupid rookie mistakes, though.
All right. I'm not giving up on Deshaun Watson, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because he's another Browns quarterback.
We're blaming this on the Browns?
I figured it out. I'm blaming it on the Browns. You want to know why I'm blaming this on the Browns, Devin?
What about the Joe Flacco thing?
What about the Joe Flacco thing?
Joe Flacco brought him to the playoffs.
Yeah, you know what? And he left, and he's still playing better. So look. So listen. Hear me out.
I know Baker's playing well, but Deshaun doesn't have to.
Just for a second, though. But then, what's his name? I forgot who else. But either way, Deshaun Watson is getting absolutely failed in Cleveland. I don't think they want him there anymore. And I don't blame them, obviously, for the outside things going on. But I'm talking strictly when it comes to inside that white chalk, inside that stadium. That is all I'm talking about when it comes to Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. They lead. Now, I didn't know this before this week, and I believe still after this week, they lead the league in drops as a whole. Dropped passes.
How many does Jerry Jeudy have?
Amari, I believe, leads the league in drop passes.
Old dog.
Now, I don't know if you saw that drop pass from Amari that was right in his chest, popped up, and flew into a Raiders defender. But that was just
that pick does not count. It hit him in the chest plate.
A lot of drops, a lot of incomplete passes that Deshaun Watson has had this season don't count. And I even mentioned it. I noticed it last week because I kind of just skimmed by it. I was like, Browns win. I said Amari did sell though. Amari sold I think I even texted you, and I was like, dude, Amari just sold an absolute touchdown. He was going across the field deep, wide open, both hands, boom, drops it. And it's like, why after these games are we attacking Deshaun Watson like this team doesn't like him? I don't know. It's just there's
Well, there
some
was
type of
talk about
vibe.
them leaking the whole thing to get out of his
Well,
contract or whatever, but yeah, continue. I don't know.
so week one, there was that clip of an O lineman not letting Deshaun Watson help him up.
Really?
Like he had
I didn't
reached
see it.
down and I can't remember which lineman it was, but he was like waving Deshaun off, not let him help him up. Now, could that have been out of anger for that play or that driver
Sure.
that game? Could have been. I would hope so. But even week 4, I saw Deshaun Watson and one of Brown's linemen getting into it on the sideline, going
Now,
back
if you're
and
Tom
forth.
Brady, it's probably a good thing. You're
Yeah.
looked at like you're Tom. Hey, sit down and listen to
But
fucking
see,
Tom Brady.
but we're not doing this though, because Deshaun Watson, we're not pretending like he's some type of scrub and has always been some type of scrub. He knows what the
No,
fuck he's talking about. So if he's telling like I'm just saying, like I agree with you that if it was Tom Brady, it would be looked at like, oh, it's Tom Brady, so it needs to be.
sure,
And I don't know
but
if you were going in this direction, but I don't think it should be looked at in the opposite way for
no,
Deshaun Watson.
no.
I mean, Cleveland is absolutely failing.
Cleveland is bad.
We're leading them in the drops. They had an 80-yard touchdown call back from Amari Cooper,
Yep.
from a bogus holding call. I mean, from the commentators to little old me at home sitting there going, I don't know if that's a hold. I don't know. I mean, it was one of these. So he's holding, and
Yep.
then once they start to get out
Once
in
they
front of
get
you,
past, yeah,
but
he let go immediately.
as soon as he goes, Deshaun's letting go. He's throwing the football.
Really?
So he's going over. Boom. Deshaun goes to throw the football, but I mean he lets go. He lets go, and I mean everybody, even they called in Gene, and Gene was like, I don't know if
Oh, he saw a jersey pull a little
but then
bit,
he's
but I
like,
can't tell.
you gotta let go, and then I was like, he let go, but whatever. They called that touchdown back.
The refs are
Um,
just bad
but I
in
think
general, and they'll forever be bad.
Deshaun Watson, and maybe I won't blame it on Cleveland, but it's just history may repeat itself, and he may end up on another team in the future and play a lot better.
Yeah, entirely possible. There is going to have to be some shit with his contract and whatever, obviously, but I mean, I don't know what else the Browns have with this. Like,
they're kind of screwed.
I mean, they can't really give up on. I mean, they got Jameis if they give up on Deshaun. Honestly, if I was Deshaun, I don't know if I would want to play on this team.
I mean, bro, it's like, I don't know if you noticed, but Cleveland quarterbacks just don't enjoy their time in Cleveland, except for Joe Flacco, which makes sense because it's Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco enjoys playing football, regardless of where he is.
Joe Flacco fits in any environment because this is him in every environment.
Every environment except for the Jets.
He is,
but he's still stuck around there.
He's like Jay Cutler if Jay Cutler took antidepressants.
Yes.
Like if Jay Cutler was a little happier. Like if
Joe's looks like he's depressed and he hates life and everything. Jay truly does.
Yeah. I wonder how bro's doing. What do you think Jay Cutler's doing right now?
Just looking at pictures of his wife on the internet. She's getting fucking thrown around by some 20-year-old dude.
I don't think he's looking at. All right.
No, yes, he is.
Why he can just. All right, never mind.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I know.
But also, no, his wife's a bitch.
Whoa.
I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
Cut that. Fuck, you can't call him that anymore.
What, women bitches?
I'm gonna get Pat McAfee.
Oh, that's your opinion, Devin. You're an American. You're allowed to give your opinion.
These things are true.
Cut that, Devin. We're not allowed. We are not allowed to get on this podcast and say Shador Sanders is set for life because of his last name. I don't know if you realize that. So you're allowed. I'm not gonna lie. Call whoever you want to fucking bitch. It doesn't matter. We're not allowed to say.
Yeah, she is a bitch.
We're not allowed to point out any nepotism in the Sanders family.
Yeah, I
So I mean, it's like,
I could give a fuck about this Colorado bullshit. Honestly, at this point, I'm just waiting for Shador to hit the league, so all of this hate can be no longer hate, and he just sucks in the NFL if he makes the NFL.
if
Um,
that's still a big fat if, but today's
I
not.
don't really ever.
Today's not a
There's no
show day.
Jay Cutler. Lord knows what that guy does. He probably sells weed or something like that.
Sells weed. It's 2024, man.
No, legally, like he has like a
Oh, a weed shop.
get on my level.
Gotcha.
I'm Jay Cutler.
Gotcha.
If you want eyes like me,
Kansas City versus LA.
eh,
I mean,
I made a right fantasy move. I put in Travis Kelce.
like they're 4-0. I don't know. George Kittle still had a good game.
I think. No, I didn't have Georgie.
George Kittle. You don't have George.
No,
Kittle?
my other team. I have George. Obviously.
Oh, okay.
I put in Travis over Brock.
Yes. Okay, I remember that
But
conversation.
they are the worst undefeated team. Are there any other undefeated teams? Yeah, no. The Vikings. The Vikings are better.
Okay.
That's I thought that would have more weight to it, but they're not a good 4-0 team by any fucking means. All their games are fucking close for no fucking reason. They've shown nothing offensively.
They're not as scary as their record.
Kareem Hunt is back and is their leading rusher. Rashee Rice more than likely done for the season. Did he?
He's done. He
got the MRI.
Which, okay.
Karma's a bitch.
There's been a lot of jokes.
Karma is a bitch.
There's been a lot of jokes. Have you seen all of the?
No, I don't. I don't go on that side of the internet.
I mean,
they're ruthless out there.
I mean, it's like shout out to Patrick Mahomes for saving the world and taking out Rashee Rice's driving leg. Or like Rashee is like nothing like Rashee Rice going out crashing on a drive and leaving the scene. Like it's like just a bunch of
he fled the scene.
I mean it's like you say
the thing is if Rashee, it would have taken Rashee a long time to get away if he had a torn ACL.
See, you say karma's a bitch, and it's like I don't want to say.
No, I know.
I don't want to say. Okay, now,
this isn't equal things.
You know what? Okay, let me back some things up. Should he have had some repercussions for what he did? Yes. Does he deserve to have his ACL torn or whatever?
Of course not.
Maybe not, but at the same time, if you actually look at it, we're talking about one person's ligament in their knee and it being torn, and now they can't play a sport, and comparing it to how reckless he was and putting other people's lives in danger. So maybe he kind of did deserve it in the grand schemes, like morality purposes. But I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking a little too deep into it. But the more I think about it, it's like maybe he kind of did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he caused, what was it, like a 6-car crash or something?
Yeah.
In Dallas.
It's like, yeah, it's not. It wasn't.
He hasn't done it since. But yeah, I don't know what's up with all the, like, I understand you're not supposed to suspend people until something happens, but they did the same thing with Josh Giddey, and then he never got suspended. Should have very much been suspended.
Josh Giddey should be in prison, but that's
exactly.
That's a whole other conversation.
But I mean, honestly, it's gonna get worse for the Chiefs. If this was a regular team and this wasn't the Chiefs, Rashee Rice going down would be a problem.
I don't think it's gonna get bad at all. I think this was the sacrifice for the undefeated season.
Was it?
Yeah. They sacrificed his knee.
Well, now they don't need to talk about a suspension.
No,
there's no more talk about a suspension. This case doesn't matter.
The NFL had this perfectly. No, now they can suspend him.
Well, they're going to suspend him week 17 and 18 or something like that.
No, they're going to maybe like a week or two from now. Literally, it's going to be like Rashee Rice gets hit with a suspension.
Suspended. It's like, thanks.
All right, whatever. We'll take it. All right.
He suspended himself.
Monday Night Football double.
Also, the Chargers blow chunks.
Yeah, they do. Doubleheader Monday Night Football. I like these doubleheaders.
I didn't like this doubleheader.
I did. I'm honestly, I kind of want, if the matchups were better, I'd be more excited about them, but I kind of want like a London game. I want to wake up on a Sunday real early.
Isn't there a Germany game coming up?
I think there's an overseas game coming up soon.
Panthers something.
Yeah, but it's always shit teams. It's
I
always
know,
dog
I know.
shit. It's always
Well,
dog shit.
y'all played in London.
Yeah, but we played the Jags and we got smoked.
No, the Giants. No.
We played the Jags and we got smoked.
Oh,
We
okay,
played the
but yeah, no,
Jags
they
and got
always send like the
smoked. But they
Giants, the
send the
Panthers,
Giants
the
and the
Jags.
Jags.
They send the same fucking teams out there.
So let's
Well,
just.
no, there's a game next week
That's great. We'll talk about that
in
next episode.
London.
Yeah, it'll be in the
Jets
morning.
Vikings.
That's
Jets
a
Vikings is going to be boring.
beautiful game.
What are
That's
you
a
talking
beautiful
about?
game. Well, you're giving up Titans Dolphins. We'll talk about that first.
Titties Dolphins, yes.
And honestly, real quick, because did not expect this to go the way it went. I do enjoy seeing Tyler Huntley being a starting quarterback, but I don't know if Dolphins fans would agree.
No, I don't think they do.
The Dolphins suck.
Yeah.
The Titans got their first dub. Shout out to them. But let's talk about Seahawks.
Oh, Mason Rudolph's back. Will Levis was hurt
Will
for a little
Levis
bit.
got he got hurt. He got hurt. Okay.
And then he got hurt and did not get the first down.
That was a first down.
It looked like a first down.
No,
I didn't see the down the line
cam. First down.
Yeah, they didn't give it to him, and then he was hurt.
But what do you mean you saw the down? What, you saw the down line camera and
no,
saw
I
him
didn't
dive?
see the down the line.
Oh,
Does the ball need to be? So when you dive, does the ball needs to be inbounds? No.
From my understanding, from my years of watching football, I've never had a rule book in front of me.
Sure.
But it's like,
Neither
I mean, if you dive and you get the ball, it's like, I mean, okay, here's the thing.
But does it have to cross inbounds? Because I saw the side angle where it looked like he had it, but I didn't see the down the line.
You're in air, so it's like,
exactly.
You can be out of bounds and touch a pylon. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but it has to, like,
I
don't know. If you were going to go reach.
If you were to go
you can touch a pylon.
Yeah, I know, outside. You
from
can go
being
reach
outside. But,
I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. So it's like.
But there's not a pylon on every yard marker.
Okay, they won 31-12, so it doesn't really matter.
So
it's okay, but.
I know, but
it was a first down. To me, it was a first down. But
it looked like a first down. He busted his shoulder up, his throwing shoulder. Poopies.
It's not the best. But Detroit versus Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I at least we can put this Seahawks hype to rest for at least a week.
Yeah.
But God, the Lions, I don't know, bro. It's like I love liking teams that aren't my teams, that aren't my team, because like I can enjoy their wins and like be happy for them, not care about their losses. And it's like, if we want to talk about it and discuss it, we can. But it's like emotionally, just no damage is being done. But I mean, there's not much more to say because a lot of this is just going to lead right into the MVP conversation for this week. But Jared.
Oh, what the Jared Goff was perfect,
dude! A perfect game from Jared
and
Goff.
And a touchdown catch.
Oh yeah,
what the fuck was that?
18 for 18, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown.
Why would I look up Jared Goff to say, does Jared Goff have a sister?
I don't know.
Who's asking that question?
That's a weird question. Geno Smith threw 56 balls.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was.
That is a lot of balls, but I mean,
tons of balls.
Honestly, we need to talk. We need to talk MVPs. We need to give our MVP votes. That's the big thing for me this week because there's a lot of contenders. The first one is obviously Jared Goff is definitely a contender on this list.
How does he not have a perfect passer rating though?
So that's a good question. I don't know, but Jared Goff, 18 for 18, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Passer rating.
Not a single incompletion, and he also had a receiving touchdown.
Yeah.
Then you go over to Sam Darnold, 20 for 28, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. CJ Stroud was 27 for 40, 345 yards, 2 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield, 30 for 47, 347 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Jaden Daniels, 26 for 30, 233 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 47 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown. You had Lamar, who's 13 for 18, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, 54 rushing yards, and a touchdown. And you had Derrick Henry 199 rushing yards, 8.3 yards per carry, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. 200 total combined yards.
Yeah.
1 yard short of 200 rushing yards.
1 yard short.
What did I say?
Did you say 2 or 1?
I thought I said 1 yard short of 2, but maybe.
Yes.
Maybe I could have said 2. I could have said 2.
It was. I mean, you guys did not need to have him in after that last touchdown, but you wanted to get him that 200.
I mean, if getting in the
brother
200,
came up a yard short.
Getting in the 200 was probably important, but at the same time, it's like.
Well, that would have been the most ever, and he's probably not going to have another 200-yard game. But
I mean, is Derrick Henry not the biggest nail you could put in a coffin?
For sure.
So
but the nail was put in a little while ago.
Keep putting him in. I mean, I would say the Lions definitely went out of their way to get a safety to make sure Jared Goff didn't have to throw the football again. So it's okay. Like, we could stat pad a little bit.
And then Dan Campbell said, "Oh, yeah, I didn't know you had a perfect game."
Yeah, bullshit.
I didn't know that.
They were the final drive before he chucked the final Amon St. Brown touchdown. Before that, when it was the offensive PI, dude, Dan Campbell was sweating bullets. You could see he was. It's like, dude, you're up.
Also,
who
gives a shit? I mean,
you
guys are smoking the fucking Seahawks.
It's a crazy accolade, dude. That is
no, it's nuts to throw 18 passes and to complete 18 passes, but I mean, their run game is what did it for them. 2 Jahmyr Gibbs touchdowns. Montgomery looked good.
Yeah, but it's what got
had a touchdown.
Don't forget, but I mean, somebody got him there.
Sure.
And it was working, and it was easy.
Sure it was.
And that same person caught one of them bitches and ran it in. So,
sure.
I mean, the real question is, and before I ask this question, our current MVPs right now, in first place for me, I got Josh Allen with 5 points. You have Josh Allen with 4 points. I got Baker in a two-way tie with Alvin Kamara with 3 points. You got Jaden Daniels, Baker, and Kyler all with 3 points. I have Jaden Daniels with 2 points and Kyler with 2 points. You have Kamara with 2 points. And then we both have Saquon, Lamar, and Jettas with 1 MVP point this year. Who's your contenders? You got any other contenders besides who I brought up?
Not really. I don't put Jaden. I don't think I'll have him this week.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay. So
who's your whatever?
I mean,
3. Do you go 1 first or 3 first usually?
I mean, I'm thinking of my 1, and right now I'm stuck between.
Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins.
I'm stuck between Derek and Jared.
Same.
I mean, at the end of the day, Jared had you can't say Derrick Henry had a perfect game.
No. Obviously the 87-yard touchdown is huge for the stat line.
Yeah. But it was also huge for the game. I mean, it was a tempo. It was the tempo starter that we needed. I mean, and he said he wanted a big run on that first touch. He got it.
Monstrous.
But I might have to slide into 2. I might have to slide. Me personally, I think I have to give Derrick Henry the 2 slot. Hell of a game, but Jared Goff came in and stole the spotlight for me and taking first place this week. I mean, 18 for 18. What was it? 218. The man was 18 for 18, 292 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. Come on. I mean,
that's big. That's huge.
Be. And if there's one thing Seattle has, at least we thought was a defense, but I mean, hey.
That was brutal. Mike McDonald,
man. And
Mikey Mix. And your guys' defense is still good. How crazy is that? Is that Mike McDonald can leave? And everyone's going to go, who's going to be the DC?
Oh, a former player.
Zach Orr, who loves the Ravens way. He's going to fuck everybody up with his defense.
And I mean, look, the man put the game away at halftime. Had a fantastic just first quarter alone. I got to give third place to Baker. I might have to give third place to Baker.
Totally fair. I mean, that's an Eagles defense that
Yeah.
Hasn't looked great this year, but still scary. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna put it over Baker.
Putting it on everybody
Baker at 3. All right.
through the doubt.
What you got?
Yeah, I got Jared. I mean, honestly, yes, the 18 for 18 is impressive, but the receiving touchdown as well, the everything about it. Derek too. I really wanted to put Derek one, like you said, but Derek too. I don't know who my 3 is. It's either Baker or Jaden.
You're not looking.
I'll say Baker.
You're not
I
looking at
mean,
CJ or Sam.
oh, Sam's up there. Sam had a
Just 20,
ah.
20 for 28, 275, 3 tutties. Baker
You
with
sure I shouldn't give it to Jordan Love? Everyone was calling for him to be the full MVP.
Baker with.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
You remember that?
Baker's 30 for 47, 347 yards, 3 total touchdowns. I mean, I know your
From all
call.
that shitting I was doing on Sam Darnold, I might have to give him a little point there.
Okay, Sam Darnold, third place for you. All right, so first place we both got Jared Goff this week for MVP. Second place we both have Derrick Henry. I gave third place to Baker. You give third place to Sam. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Last thing before we get out of here, we gotta predict this Thursday night football. We got the Bucks.
Give me the box.
Bucks going up against the Falcons. Now, we did spend this episode not talking too highly about the Falcons, and I still have some type of belief in them. I still have some type of belief in them.
Of course. I mean, again, Kirk isn't bad every week. And if they can fight out a fucking win against the Saints when they play like shit, it's a good sign. This is in Atlanta. I still think the Bucks. Well, being in Atlanta isn't the same as it used to be.
Yeah, no, I'd say I don't.
Being in New Orleans is definitely not the same as it used to be. I mean, they never. There was years where they didn't lose at home, like straight years. Not the same.
I mean, if the Bucks,
with how hot the Bucks are, it's going to be hard for them to be taken down a peg. The Falcons' defense again can do well, but I don't know. They don't seem like a one-trick pony like the Eagles. Not the Eagles. The Saints are. Kamara's not going crazy. Derek Carr is not great. The receiving core is okay. I like the Bucks here.
Yeah, I love the Bucks here. Now,
but it should be closely fought.
See,
for a little bit.
Like, yeah, I think it'll be a back and forth for at least the first half. But and I don't like so I don't think the Bucks are laying down, just laying Atlanta down the way they were with Philly. And I think that maybe Atlanta could put up a little bit of a better offensive production, or just a little bit better production offensively. But like you said, with how hot Tampa is right now, there should be no reason the Bucks don't come out of this 4-1.
Yeah, but I mean, if Kirk plays a good bit better than he did this game, I think the Falcons would look a lot better against the Saints. And I mean, like you said, their defense did a lot of that work in that game. But
I think
if Mike is healthy and Baker's slinging it, and
they're picking that
Bucky Irving
apart. They're picking that.
Bucky Irving can do some shit.
They're picking that defense apart.
Yeah,
they're picking that defense apart. I can't wait. But with that being said, Devin, we talked Thursday night football. We talked MVP votes for Week 4. We talked all of Week 4's games, including Baltimore's beatdown, Tampa versus Philly, Minnesota versus Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers losing to Denver. We talked a lot. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
I don't want to talk about the Bills anymore. Today, like I was gonna say something bad about Buffalo. I'll just let them soak in all of this. They can soak in the snow or whatever the hell they have up there.
No, this is it for a while.
I want them to let it sit in. I don't think we have to. There's nothing we have left to say about their fans or their team or anything. They got the shit kicked out of them. Brandon, if you're listening, you suck. I beat you.
The fantasy trash talk. All right. Well,
Jesus, if you're out there, I don't think you ever existed.
Whoa.
But nice try, book writers.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're lying to us, dude.
Whoa.
Cool story that they wrote.
all right. Before we get a little too I don't even know what pocket that is. The religious pocket. Too deep in the religion.
We can talk religion.
No. We'll maybe one day. But with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of On It. We'll be back on Saturday to predict all of Week 5's game. Week 5's games. Week 5. We're here. We're at Week 5, Devin. We are in Week.
Yo,
5.
we got y'all in 2 weeks. I'm fucking.
Y'all got the Browns.
We got the Browns.
Oh
hell yeah! Easy money. Hopefully, Deshaun Watson does not have a conversation with Jaden Daniels. I don't want to see no little bro, big bro. Please
stop
Jaden.
Stop hating,
Jaden,
bro.
If you're listening.
Stop hating, bro. If Jaden Daniels can play like prime DY, you got shots.
Jaden, listen to me.
Stop it.
Do not take any recommendations from him.
Stop it. Jaden Daniels should want to emulate everything Deshaun Watson does on the field.
Not right now.
In 2020, though.
No, I think that was a bad year.
But statistically, he had a great year. Houston just sucked.
Either way. Be better than DY.
Sure.
And also, we're going to smoke the balls out of you guys.
We'll see. Out of us?
Oh, yeah. 2 weeks.
Devin.
In the bank?
Devin. All right, let's.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of burgundy out there, dude.
Devin, I need you. Yeah, see, here's the thing, though. When there's not a lot of burgundy out there, because Baltimore is going to make sure that Baltimore fans get a lot of those tickets, y'all are going to get steamrolled by us. Yeah, y'all are getting steamrolled.
Now, I don't know what week RG3 got hurt or whatever, but it was against you guys. So please, Roquan.
Bro, we ain't hurting no quarterbacks.
Roquan, do not touch him.
We're not hurting no quarterbacks. But, Devin, I have been a supporter of y'all for a long time.
I've been a supporter of you guys.
I would just really hate for 1 week of too much taunting to change and tarnish all of that.
I would hate that you would think that you guys, I mean, what, you're going to pick the Skins?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to pick the Ravens? So I think we both suck each other's teams, but clearly my team is better. For now.
Absolutely.
No, you guys played a terrible franchise in the Buffalo Bills.
No,
the Bills suck.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
The Bills suck.
Shut up.
So that's why you guys.
You said an hour ago on this podcast, yeah, so it's like, I'm not used to us like being good. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm not used to how good we are, which is why we're so good.
Yeah, I know. And I'm a Ravens fan, and we're used to this. So.
What?
Blowing out top tier teams, undefeated teams?
Yeah,
motherfucker.
We blew out a top tier team from 2007.
Good job.
2008.
Y'all played great.
2009.
Y'all did your thing. Y'all are 3-1. That's cool.
No, I'm kidding. We do need to get out of here.
We do.
Washington. Honestly, yeah. I wouldn't mind if we lost a bunch more games.
But if y'all beat us, that'd be cool. But if y'all are if one of your only losses is to Baltimore, can you be mad?
No.
Can't be pissed.
Also, everybody, tune the fuck in. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Or today, Tuesday, 4 o'clock.
What is this baseball related?
Baseball. The O's are playing first game of the playoffs. We're in the wild card. We're playing the Royals. Also, tune in to Alex Jones tomorrow. Whatever he's doing,
Okay,
talking
definitely
about whoever.
don't tune
I'm
in.
kidding.
Yeah, I
No.
was gonna say, please.
People don't tune into Alex Jones every
No,
day?
we're starting to get MAGA comments for some
Are we
reason.
really?
Yeah, and it's like, what did we do?
Have I said anything bad about Kamala? I have things to
No,
say, but I
no,
should.
but like they're like, oh, you should go talk about MAGA. It's like, bro, why? Because we don't like the Chiefs? Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, fuck. Anyways, we do need to get out of here, Devin.
I'm going to refrain from saying some things.
We are gonna
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yep.
Hopefully, everybody watching, you enjoyed this episode of On It. And you return on Saturday for a brand new episode of On It. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.
Go O's.